Today on our Little Ball of Mud, Sat Khalsa interviews the one and only Tommy Chong.
Oh, that was a trip, man. I kept hitting the wrong thing.
I haven't seen you since 1983.
Really?
Do you remember coming in my restaurant, the Golden Temple, vegetarian restaurant?
All the time. The Golden
And
Temple,
you
yes.
guys needed a massage, and I provided you with massages up in the Okura Hotel.
Right,
Where
right,
you were
right,
making the
right.
movie, and you guys came out of the back room, all four of you,
Yeah,
you and Cheech and your wives,
yeah,
and you were all full Monty,
yeah, of course.
singing the song da 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 da.
Oh, right.
And then you looked over at the sofa and saw the look on our face and fell on the floor laughing.
Uh, the Golden Temple.
Yes.
What was the name of the bookstore that
What
had?
bookstore?
There's a bookstore in LA. It was on Melrose and
Yes. The Sikh bookstore.
yeah, but it was called. I get the names almost on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, the Golden Temple, yeah, back there, yeah, that was quite a trip. That was your place?
That was my place. Yeah. I'm the one that gave you guys the massage.
Oh, right.
and
Oh, that's
I and
pretty
I
cool.
and I drove your deux chevaux up to Paris for you.
Was that you?
Yeah.
And I had the trunk full of dope.
Did you?
Yeah, you had the Sufis with you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You never knew. You never
I
knew.
didn't know that.
I had a big suitcase in the back, and Ray Don, for some reason, Ray Don got a hold of it. I think you dropped the douchable off at Ray Don, or anyway.
No, I
But
dropped it off to you at your hotel, you
yeah,
and your wife, and we had a glass of wine.
okay.
Yeah, and you sent us on our way.
So that was in Amsterdam,
Well, I drove it from Amsterdam to Paris.
right, 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 right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, I know what happened. Yeah, and then Ray Don needed to borrow the suitcase. And she borrowed my suitcase, and it was full of all the dope.
I didn't know I was transporting the dope.
I know, I didn't know, I forgot too, because we just loaded up our suitcases in it, and then you drove it. I think I had my Rolls Royce at the time, and that's why we needed someone to drive the deux chevaux. Yeah. Anyway, nice to see you. What you've been doing?
Well, mostly after Amsterdam, I came back to the States and just worked in social work and teaching this little thing here, this little symbol.
Oh,
putting,
yeah.
Putting it on the board of every class I have in domestic violence and anger management.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've been doing those classes for like 26 years. And then COVID came, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And forced me into early retirement.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing this. I've started this little show called our Little Ball of Mud.
And, yeah.
And I'm I'm hoping all your millions of contacts will just tune in to our show and see the
people. It would be nice.
Yeah. You have a manager here in Phoenix. Her name is Cynthia.
Yeah.
And she runs a place called Nickel City Baby.
And what's that? Nickel City Baby.
It's a ladies' garment shop. Very sexy clothes.
Oh, nice.
Cynthia's her name, and she said she worked for you.
Sure.
As a manager, so.
Yeah, yeah. It was a while back, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, we've been doing a lot of with the marijuana, the cannabis things. We're getting ready to open up our own uh, Cheech and Chong dispensarias, and yeah, actually the pandemic was kind of like a godsend in
Yes,
so many ways.
yes. Everybody went home.
Yeah, and everybody found out that they had a lot of stuff they can do at home. You didn't have to be anywhere. You just,
That's right, right.
yeah, I love this.
Mhm.
All technology. Isn't that great? Can you imagine the pandemic without cell phones? Huh?
Oh my God. We would have
We'd
been
be,
on, yeah, I know.
we'd be
So
at the mercy.
what's your message to you? You look at the world today,
Yeah,
brother, and it's like, and you're 83, I'm 81.
yeah.
So you're probably having the same kind of thoughts I am, about grandkids and what's going to happen and what we're leaving behind and blah, blah.
Oh, well, it's not up to us. It never was. It's up to them. You know, we shouldered our burden. We carried it as far as we could. Now we're going to hand it off to them, but not really. We're going to keep our burdens with us, and then they got a whole new set of burdens, and it goes on like that forever. They'll end up with their own pandemic. They'll end up with their own uh, problems, and we won't be here. I mean, we will be here, but we will be here as another entity learning. You know, because
Mhm.
there's a lot of that Shakespearean thing. The world's a stage, and we're all actors. Well, I really believe that, and because of the nature of eternity. See, eternity means that uh, we just keep going. you know I mean, you can look back and you can ponder and muse, but you can't do anything about it. And you can look forward and you can ponder and muse, and you can't do anything about it. All you can do is just manage to hang on and enjoy and learn,
Except the
because
moment.
we we're all learning, regardless whether we want to or not.
It doesn't
you know
stop.
no, we have to learn. And that's the nature of a physical world, because the physical world, there's life and death. That's the nature of the physical world. uh, the
Mm.
real world, as Buddha used to say, is the spiritual world, which is endless and effortless.
Mm. Mm.
I like effortless. Yeah, because there's no effort in the spiritual world. It's just really who we are. And then
Did you
then
read Be Here Now? That book,
the I
the
don't
book,
think so. I
Be
don't
Here
think so.
Now. Mm.
No, but I understand the concept. Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah. I
mhm.
read the book now by I forgot his name now. This is a
Mm.
best-selling. I'm trying to think of the name of that bookstore. I can't think of it right now.
Any words of wisdom for the humans out there these days?
I was asked by someone close to me, and he dabbles, well, especially with me. He uses me as his little
Mm.
spiritual good luck charm.
Mhm.
He said to me, if you could one word to the key to happiness,
Mm.
what's the word? And I said forgiveness. And so that's my message to the masses:
Mm.
forgiveness, forgiveness, because I love the word forgive. I love the word give, and I love the word forgive, because what you're doing is you're giving them a clean slate. You know, like someone draws something for you, and it could be nasty or whatever. Then you take the slate and you give them a new one. That's like forgiveness. We're giving them a chance to forgive and forget too, because living in the present is really all that we can do, and if we do it in a very spiritual manner, we'll find happiness and wealth and everything. I'm doing a podcast.
Oh, hey, I have something for you. And I want to know how to get it to you, because it's for everybody that's on my show. I give them a.
I like that. I like that.
Shirt.
Yeah. Okay.
And it says, our little ball of mud. Know why you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why you're here.
I'll go in the other room.
Okay, my one test came, the instant test came.
It came
negative, but they just come negative a lot. The guy recognized you on the phone and saw my name.
Oh God.
He gave the instant test.
My wife just had a COVID test, and what happened?
Because it's usually $95 for the rapid test, but because I'm married to you, I got it for free.
Oh, and you're clean?
I'm clean on the rapid test, but I have to wait for the real test.
Oh, okay. Well, she cleaned on one test, and she's working on the other one. Anyway.
Did I give her a massage also? Is she the one that was there?
She was what?
Was
yeah.
She,
oh, yeah.
She was with you back then?
Yep. That's her.
Okay.
That's
well,
her.
Tell her I said hey.
I sure will. I won't tell her about the full Monty, but I'll tell her.
No.
I will tell her that. I'm just walking into my little cave here, my little den. Monty. Yeah, she just had a COVID test and one was clean. So now she has to wait for them. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Oh,
they're saying that we've got to get the booster after 8 months from our last shot.
Yeah.
In order to not get the variant.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm all for it, man. Whatever you got to do, I'll do it. You know where I learned all my philosophy or how to live from day to day on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do that show?
Yes, I did.
Way to go.
Did. I made history because I was the oldest contestant to make it to the finals.
Wow.
I literally made it to the finals, and then I was the first guy to be kicked off, in the finals. Because I was the old guy, and the reason I made it to the finals was that I was so popular. I got voted so many, and had I stayed in, I probably would have won with votes, But they had to get me off there. They made it to the finals, and now get rid of the guy, and then have the real dancers compete. Because it got to.
You must have done good.
Well, you figured out I made it to the finals, but I credit my partner for holding me up, just help, helping me
did
through.
You get winded?
Oh, I got cancer. I got rectal cancer.
I heard that.
Yeah, and that was from the stress of Dancing with the Stars.
Stop it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had prostate, and then I, like an idiot, I had to deal with prostate, but I made a mistake. I got a biopsy, and I shouldn't have, because that's how cancer spreads.
Right.
You can figure out. You get a biopsy. You got cancer in a little chunk of cancer, and you drag that around and wherever it touches, and that's what happened. That's how I got the rectal cancer. Now, prostate, that was no big deal. You know, they said, "Oh, you'll die of something else first." But when I got the rectal cancer, they treated both. What was that? Oh, that's an iPod going off.
I have no.
Yeah, it's my son's iPod.
Did you
Anyway,
beat it? Did you beat
huh?
it? Did you beat
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Well, I used cannabis and CBD to
CBD.
recover. To recover. Yeah, CBD injection. I really was an experimental guy for CBD and THC to see
Mhm.
how that would work, and it really helped with the recovery. And I was out of the hospital almost within days. I was actually working. I drove from the hospital to Disney to do some voiceover work. And so I'm fine. You know, I'm uh, really in good shape now, other than I got a colostomy bag, and that was okay too. Yeah. So I'm here. I'm good.
Who thought we'd last this long?
Well, I think, well, it is our spiritual connection.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. Because you're only, we are, all of us, we're here, as you say, uh, by the will of God, you know, and and so we have messages to keep you know supplying to the masses.
Share
And
with
so I
each other.
imagine,
Yeah.
yeah, so I imagine the powers that be will keep us here for as long as we can give that message, you know. And we might as well be here because there's no difference. When you're enlightened, there's really no difference between heaven and earth, you know.
Can I
Yeah,
tell you what this says now?
yeah, please.
It says, our little ball of mud, know why you're here, or you're just paying bills.
I love it.
And
Know why
that's
you're here. Know why you're here. What?
know why you're here, or you're just paying bills.
Or you're just paying bills.
Yeah.
True. True. I love that. That's great. I love that t-shirt. Yeah, I need
So,
one.
how can I send it to you? Is there an address?
Yeah, I can.
You can
Yeah,
email it to.
yeah, yeah. Well, my email. You know my email, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Just. Uh, yeah, yeah. My email me, and I'll send you my address.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. I don't want to put it over the thing right now because
That's correct.
you never know what Trumpy might get it and try to change my mind.
You have to watch every word these days, don't you?
Well, I guess so. You know,
Mhm.
when I was in prison, I was in Taft federal prison, and
Mhm.
I
For the
learned.
bong, for the
Well,
bong, right?
yeah, I learned real
Mhm.
early that they listen to every word you say. They know exactly what you're saying,
Mhm.
especially when you're on the telephone, you know,
Mhm.
and you're on a computer. And so if you say certain words, the computer flags you, and then they listen in on to the recorded conversation. And yeah, so I knew, but I forgot that they were listening and watching because I'm I'm not the least bit criminal. You know, there's nothing
Mhm. Mhm.
devious or
Mhm.
criminal about me.
Mhm.
In fact, if I have a fault, is that I talk too much and I tell the truth. You know,
You're honest person, yeah.
yeah.
That's
And an honest person doesn't need to be paranoid about anything. You know, not that everybody is as honest as me because they're not, but everybody's learning, and I'm protected. If you know scripture, if uh, you know what to believe, then you can, it's like everything, you can protect yourself.
Were you raised in a religious household or just spiritual?
Spiritual, just
Spiritual
spiritual.
household.
No, my mother was part Native, and she was a great storyteller. But she allowed me to be led by other angels, that would come into my life. I had angels all my life coming in, and just taking care of me for a while, and then handed me off, to another. I'm just a series of good of angels, under their care, and that's how I've done everything to this day. I've just followed, that voice of the conscience, your consciousness, and yeah, I learned real early the power of prayer, and the most powerful prayer to me is to pray for wisdom, and that's all you need.
Did you know Yogi Bhajan?
Yogi
Bhajan.
No,
From the Sikhs?
No.
Spiritual people? That was why we were in Amsterdam.
Oh, right.
Teaching yoga and running that restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of yogas. Yeah. I've talked to a few, met a few, and listened to them all every time I can get a chance. And I learned one thing. I tell people there's one thing all yogis have in common. They all giggle. You notice that? They all got that cosmic giggle.
Right. They see through the veil of illusion.
Yeah, they all have that giggle, because in the end, well, figure it out, we're eternal beings.
I know.
And so all we have to do is laugh, because if you don't like what's going on now, just wait a while. It'll either get worse or better. It won't be the same. Yeah, I love it.
And then respond appropriately.
If it's called for, yeah. If it's called for, yeah, we're given our, yeah. I've been learning through nature, because I live in the lockdown. I started really paying attention to my surroundings, where I live, and I live in a paradise. I live in California. In fact, it was my dream when I was a kid, and I just realized it now. When I was
better than Edmonton.
Or Calgary.
Calgary.
Well, we had to drive to paradises there, and my backyard was sufficient, but this backyard is the kind of places where we used to drive to, to be there. My dad was so cool. He was a gambler, so we never had any money for luxury, because he always had to keep all his money for work, for his gambling. And so we would get the free entertainment, which is parks, wilderness. We had a car, so we could drive. We could drive over to the riverbank, secluded area, and our whole motive back then was to get away from people, not to find people. The only time you found people is when when my dad took us to a sporting event, and my dad, well, he was, no, he didn't gamble on sport. I don't know. He didn't gamble on sports. He was Chinese. He'd gamble mahjong and whatever the Chinese play, that kind of game. But he was more of but he never believed in going a pain to get in anywhere. And so we always walked in the back door, sometimes over a fence. and there would be other people there doing the same thing. And and that's how we got to see football and baseball.
Oh,
It
wow.
depends. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. He would take me out there.
He was your friend.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah, and not only a friend, but I became his teacher, kind of. You know, I could play music, and it really amazed him. Because he never even tried to play music. He was more of an athlete. And he was short. He was 5'3", but he was a really good athlete. So, and the weirdest thing, Cheech is almost identical to what my dad looked like when he was Cheech's age. So it's almost like my dad came back into my life with Cheech.
As your partner.
Yeah.
When did you guys meet? You two?
I was still in my 20s, I believe. Let's see, 20. Let's see. We met 1968. 1968, 69. I think it was 69 that we met, because we were in a acting troupe together in Vancouver, and then the group broke up, and Cheech and I stayed together, and that was 1970 when we hit LA. Yeah, we decided, we played Vancouver a few places, and then when I found out that we had something really, really special, then we headed down to LA, where my first wife, the mother of my two daughters, Braydon and Robbie, was living here, and I was still with her. We were still together, and Cheech slept on the couch at my first wife's house or apartment, and that was 1970. So we met in 1969.
Would you please tell him hey for me? Tell him
I sure will.
Yeah, he's the guy that gave us massages.
Yeah, he's in Russia now.
He's married in Russia?
He married a Russian lady, and
oh, wow.
They're back in St. Petersburg looking at her apartment that she kept. Oh. And yeah, I think she's KGB, but I'm not too sure, Because I accuse her, and she keeps admitting, oh yes, I am KGB. and Cheech doesn't know either way.
Oh my God, what a life! Hey, is there any aspect of your life that you want to promote right now that we can say? Well, tune into this, or
we're I got my Tommy Chong products, the cannabis products and the CBD products being sold all around.
Okay.
But I think right now our big deal is the Cheech and Chong dispensarias that we're getting ready to open. We got one in San Francisco. Yeah, we got one in San Francisco ready to open, and we got one in Palm Springs. And then from there we're going to spread to all around the world, actually.
Okay.
We'll probably end up hooking up with either Starbucks or one of those guys that know how to do all that shit.
Right.
Yeah, but it's coming really good.
God.
And, yeah, we call
what a destiny. I mean, Up in Smoke revolutionized the planet.
Yes, it did. Well, those truths were always there. We were the only ones that really showed them, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
You had the moxie to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it took courage back in those days to, stand up and say, da-da-da-da.
No, what it took was an audience.
Right.
See, an audience will tell you if you're on the right track or not. If you get a standing ovation, you can believe you're going to do that song again.
Right.
And as soon as we affected people with our mixed our mixed Chicano pot humor, because that's what it was. You see, There were no Chicanos in Canada, and so we never did any Chicano humor until we got down to California, and then California, we learned very quickly that we better learn some Chicano humor. And I told Cheech, I said, "You're from here, man. Come on, what?" And he said, "Well, there is a character I know that would go over well." And so he described him to me. I wrote a bit, and he did it, and we did it on stage, and it struck a nerve, you know.
Man.
It
Is
struck a
that the
nerve.
one you did it in the Tuchinski Palace or the theater in Amsterdam? Remember you did a
Yeah.
stand-up?
Oh yeah. We well, no, we didn't do that. Yeah, I think it was part of it. No, actually, the one we did in the palace, we recorded it for a movie.
Yes, for still smoking.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I had another podcaster come on. He says, he was new to Cheech and Chong. That's when I was in San Jose. He was the guy, you know, he had to study up and find out who Cheech and Chong were. And so he did a crash course, and he's young, and he wasn't leaning that way at all. And so he's from New York. So he did a crash course, and he said, "Still smoking." He said, "You couldn't record that today. You couldn't do that today." And I thought, I never said it, but I thought, yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for you maybe, but for a lot of Latinos, a lot of Chicanos. Yeah. Oh man, still smoking. We were so politically incorrect that whole movie.
I love the outfits were just amazing.
Oh, we had the best time with it.
Oh my God.
And we had the most fun with that show. Oh my God.
Well,
I'll
I'm
never
not going
forget
to
that.
take up any more of your time, sir.
Okay, brother.
I appreciate you so much, and you've been a mentor of mine over the
Okay.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, let's stay in touch, and give me that T-shirt, extra XL.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what this is.
XL, and yeah, you can get it to me. I'll wear it. I'll promote whatever you got. You
Nice.
give me a note, let me know what you're promoting, and I'll take care of it. Okay.
No, you've been loved all these years, man, ever since the massage.
Yeah, that's what it was. the hands of the master.
Thank you so much, Tommy. I
Take care.
appreciate you so much. God
Love
bless.
you. Love you.
All right.
Love you.
Namaste.